So huge blessing and a big thanks to my friend Paul who gave me his Nebraska deer meat. Check it out. There is a rear quarter. I'm going to grind up the entire deer. Make burger and sausage out of everything because that is what my family uses most of all. We use ground meat. It's the most versatile option for our dining. So if you want to watch videos on me trimming meat, deboning meat, cleaning it, talking about preservation of meat, meat spoilage, etc., I'm going to leave links below for all those videos and all those topics that I've covered in the past. So I'm going to turn the camera off, I'm going to debone all the meat, and then I'll bring you back here when I'm ready to start grinding. Thanks to the hard work and excellent trimming skills of my wife, Kim, 33 pounds even. And once again, I'll leave video links in the description down below so you can check out my previous videos on taking care, trimming wild game meat. If you're new to my channel, I haven't pulled this out since last year, the Weston Pro Series number 12 electric meat grinder. This thing is a beast. I took out all the components, washed them in hot soapy water, and it's a good idea to spray the grinding parts with food grade silicone spray to make sure everything works perfectly and put everything back together. I have my meat lugs sanitized with hot soapy water. Turn the grinder on and start inserting pieces of venison. Now I've already done a complete review on this grinder, so if you want to watch that, just click on the link in the description down below. But as you can see, the grinder pretty much swallows up the meat as quickly as you can feed it. 33 pounds of coarse ground venison, 7 minutes, and that is with me feeding it myself, moving the camera around, and talking to family members. So seriously, I could have done, if I had another person and I wasn't filming, I could have coarse ground 33 pounds in probably 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna do a combination of ground venison, hamburger, and sausage. So I stopped at Costco on the way home from Nebraska and picked up some boneless pork belly. I used it last year and I liked it a lot. I also like to use pork shoulder, you know, the same stuff you use for pulled pork. As well as some beef fat, which the butcher gave to me for free, but per Costco rules, he had to charge something, but he only charged me 6 cents. If you don't hunt or process your own wild game, you might be wondering what I'm doing with the pork, with the pork belly, which by the way, you could be using bacon. And what am I doing with the fat? Well, wild game is lean, venison, elk meat, deer meat. This stuff is almost 100% fat free. I mean, there's not a lot of fat inside the meat. It's not like domestic beef that is raised, marbleized to have a high fat content. So you need to actually add fat if you desire to make a patty, to make it form into a shape, and to make the texture more resemble that of domestic meat. So here's the coarse grind on the venison, the pork belly, and the beef fat. So when you process your own wild game meat, you get to control what's in it. So you know that there's not any hair, any dirt, or anything that you don't want in your meat. And you're also in charge of your own blends. A friend of mine got me onto this method a couple of years ago, 80-10-10. So 80% wild game, 10% beef fat, beef suet, and then the other 10% bacon or pork belly. And for mixing my 80-10-10 ratio together, I've got the Westin commercial food mixer. So I've portioned out 20 pounds of the mixture, and the benefit of the meat mixer, you can get a more even mixture of the meat. And now I can run the mixed meat through the fine grinding plate. And there's approximately 20 pounds of ground venison burger mixture ready to be packaged. Alrighty, it's been several hours. The kids are in bed, and now it's time to package the ground venison. And you probably remember my old friend, the Weston Vertical Sausage Stuffer. And once again, we'll use the silicone spray to spray inside the sausage stuffer. And there's a bunch of different ground meat bags on the market. I typically pick them up on eBay. There's places to check the kind of meat. And of course, I love the fact that they're camouflage. I have plenty of older videos in my archives using the sausage stuffer, so I won't go into great detail. I like to squeeze the bags, making sure there's no air pockets. Give them a few twists. And you've seen me using the Westin bag neck sealer in the past. Bingo. And I have 20 pounds of ground venison ready for the freezer.